What up? What up, my guys? Welcome to another show, man. NBA Talk with my guy Jay Money and the Shark here, Sharks and Sports. Man, we miss you this weekend. What's up with you, brother? I love the hat, love the glasses. How you doing?
Doing great. Monday, December 6th, 2021. Another day in the life. We always step back. We don't take this for granted. It's a blessing to speak to you guys in the chat. Drop your plays, your comments, your interactions are the power behind the channel. We try to bring you the top pipe analytics plays, but without you guys, there's no abundance whatsoever. Jay Money, we got some good looks today on the board. A great looking card. I could probably drop 8, 9 top leans. A couple officials, and let's go through it.
Got you. Yeah, my guy James in the chat. James, what's your name on Twitter? Just let me know. He said, I blocked him on Twitter. What's your name, man? If you all positive vibes, I'll unblock you, my guy. But he told me that yesterday. Just sorry, real quick. But let's get to it, man. Straight business today. No bullshitting around. I'm pissed. I'll say it. My guy Shark don't like to go back to yesterday, but I have to apologize. I mean, I'm apologizing to you guys, but it was my play. I told you have to ride with me. I'm still pissed from the Pelicans, guys. I'm just gonna say it. Obviously, it was an unmotivated game. Even the beat writers saying these guys just didn't turn up defensively. They are a better team than that. I know that it seemed like it took a sorry team, but it happens, guys. Did take the loss. We win together, we lose together. But I'm still fucking pissed. There's no way they should have lost that game to the Rockets, especially with the guys that they had out. They just didn't bring it defense. I mean, the Rockets had 100 points halfway through the fucking fourth quarter. Come on, bro. What are we doing, man? I'm sorry, guys. But just let you know where I'm thinking. Let's get to today, man. Let's go straight to Charlotte here at Shark. We got the 76ers versus the Hornets. Obviously, 4 guys on their injury report. They probably took a lot of people's money yesterday. A lot of people hopping on the Hawks probably thought it was easy. They won outright. And you know what I'm saying? I could see a letdown here, Shark. I could see a letdown. I could see trifecta spot from 76. I know you text me 76 first quarter. We got to hop on the Sixers something here. I know they got a game tomorrow, but we got to hop on them here early at the very least, bro.
Yeah, I'm actually not on this. I went through it in a little bit deeper detail. When I look at what's going on here, I go back to a very specific environment early season where Charlotte beat Brooklyn on the road on a Sunday afternoon emphatically, and they came home on Monday night against the Celtics. And we had actually taken Boston first quarter there, and it was a pick 'em. It was mildly juiced, and we pushed. And I was going through Charlotte first quarter efforts at home. They are inconsistent at the core. And it's generally speaking the volatility of their shooting percentage, as we see across the league. It's not so much an energy or an effort. It's just a matter of, is the ball going in the bucket? And you look at Philly coming in here. The unfortunate side of taking Philly first quarter is they did come out absolutely smoking hot at Atlanta in the last game. And Philly is not a sustainably great first quarter team on the road this year or historically with this group. They are a juggernaut first quarter at home. So when I'm looking at this, I do see this game being sharp. I do go back to that Boston game and the back-to-back on a Monday at home. They did lose in overtime, 140 to 129. It did not cover. This is at -7. The last game being played between the Sixers and the Hornets was -7. And guess what the result was? 118, 111. It's telling you it's probably razor sharp, triple revenge game for Charlotte. And as you mentioned, players in and out of the lineup. It's really tough to cap this game.
Yeah, it's tough to cap the game as far as from my thing is motivation, right? Now, I'll tell you this right now. If the 76ers come in here and want to handle business, they should smack these guys from start to finish. Obviously, motivation is so up and down, you never know, right? So no LaMelo Ball, no Rozier, and they don't have Plumlee. They don't have a single guy that can bang with Embiid. Embiid should feast in this game, even the guards, right? We know Rozier and LaMelo Ball are the main guards for the Hornets. They got it done yesterday. We always talk about this. Without your top players, you can turn up for one game. It is pretty tough to sustain that after a while. They will be down with these guys for a little while, health and safety protocols. The Sixers, what I'm seeing in them, and they came back and won the Hawks. They're starting to catch their feet. Joel Embiid starting to get, you know what I'm saying, he's starting to carry himself alone. So I think the Sixers might get hot here. They do have a big game tomorrow versus Utah at the house, but still, this is Eastern Conference. You got to take care of your in-conference battles first before you worry about a Western Conference team. So they did get blown out. Like Shark, they have a revenge game versus the Jazz tomorrow. They got blown out by 35. That's why I would I'm probably staying away from full game, but I do like 76ers here early. It's mainly because the Hornets are missing a ton of their offense, what makes them so good. They could do that last night versus the Hawks, but I think they dropped this one. I think the Sixers get on them early as well. Go ahead and get this one over early. I like the Sixers first quarter, first half, Shark. Did you have anything else, or you want to go to another game?
No, I might. If I decide to make it official, I will post it on Twitter. It was the look, but again, when I go into the layered analysis. There's enough contamination for me that I just don't want to make it official. So let's move on.
Gotcha. Yeah, and this line was shooting up this morning as well. I think it was I saw it at 5 yesterday. It's up to 6.5 now. So some money coming in on the Sixers here. I like them first quarter, first half. Let's go to Miami here, man. I want to say Wizards versus Pacers. Sorry, I don't know if you had it on there, but I want to go to Heat here, guys. I'll tell you right now, I like the Heat here. It's not me fading the Grizzlies. I do think it's a part of it, fading the Grizzlies, right? They've been scorching hot. I do think that the Mavs would have smacked them up as well if they didn't rest Luka, Porzingis. You see what I'm saying? That was the game where I thought they got smacked up. Okay, they're getting taken care of, right? Now the Heat will have everyone in this game that they still have. So I think that Jimmy, he's expected to play from what I'm reading. He did get upgraded from questionable. We knew he was going to sit out 2 games. They already smacked Memphis in Memphis with Ja Morant, and they didn't have Bam Adebayo as well. They won 129-104, so they can smack these guys. You see what I'm saying? And they're coming home off getting smacked as well. I'm looking at the quotes and stuff and Struck saying, "Hey, look, we got to start out early. We can't let teams get on our ass. We got to start out early and sustain it the whole game." A lot of trifecta spot for me. Heat first quarter -1.5, full first half -2.5, full game minus the 4.5. My guys, going down. Money coming 129-103. But I think the Heat will get it done once again. I think Jimmy's will be back in here, Shark, because you're talking me out from the Heat here.
No, I mean, the numbers all over the Heat. Of course, Memphis did lay 3.5 points there in Memphis with Ja Morant going back, 3 weeks ago, something like that. Miami won that game purely behind the three-point line. They shot absolutely lights out that particular day. And we talk about this every day. I just said it 5 minutes ago. In the NBA in 2021, sometimes you just get a team that is scorching hot, and sometimes they are ice cold, and you cannot cover because it's just such an outlier. And coming back here, the line is a great spot for Miami. I would never talk you off this line when it moves 8.5 points in one direction, obviously accounting for player movement, but it tells you a damn good story. Miami needs to turn up here. They've been lackluster, and you said it, and I'm not going to go into any further detail. The only counterpoint would just purely be the Memphis group without Ja Morant has shown signs of being extremely professional.
Exactly. Yeah, they've shown signs of being extremely professional. Like I say, 3 lower tier opponents in Sacramento. The Thunder the smack up spot by the Thunder as well, and they beat the Raptors well. Then you beat the Mavs. No Luka, no Porzingis. I think it comes to, I know Bane's been balling, guys. You can still hop on some props here. Jaren Jackson Jr. doesn't have necessarily, I don't think they have necessarily as good as matchups here. I think, simply put, I think the Heat are coming to play motivationally wise. This is a hard-nosed type of team. I'll go, like, say if obviously anything can happen. If I do happen to take a loss with the Heat, I won't feel so bad. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, it's with a shit team. I know they're coming to play. I know they're motivated to win this game. He said it as well, even the coach, Spoelstra. Look, we got a big game versus Memphis on Monday. Simple. So let's get to it, my guys. Heat trifecta spot for me. We can go to this Pacers spot real quick. I'm not laying 5.5 versus anybody with the Pacers. The Wizards won't have Dinwiddie here. Shark is not playing on back-to-backs. Did you like anything in this game?
Absolutely. December 6, 2020, official play. Indiana Pacers -5. And what we're looking at here is a lot of stuff, but it's very interesting stuff. First thing I want to talk about, I talk about it all the time, point per game differential. This is getting even more egregious now. Indiana is currently 9-16 straight up on the campaign with a positive point per game differential. Washington, on the other hand, is 14-10, top 4 of the playoff race with a negative point per game differential. They have been way too hot. They clustered, and I think they're starting to go the other direction. You do find them here on a 3rd and 4 road back-to-back off a very lackluster loss yesterday to Toronto, which Jay and I had discussed off the record as being a very top look. And when you go back through the Washington schedule, one back-to-back that is really, really sharp for me in terms of a cross-referencing point, Washington played a back-to-back at Charlotte where they got hammered and barely scored the basketball. And the following night, they went into Miami on a similar line, -7.5, I believe, and got hammered again, 112-97. And you just look at what Indiana's been doing at home. They've been lackluster. But again, I go back to one cross-referencing game here. Hosting Toronto in a revenge spot. Toronto, in my opinion, is very similarly long-term graded to Washington. They hammered them 114-97. I think Indiana's waiting for it. I think they're fresh. I think everything is connecting with it tonight. And I think that Indiana wins this game by 10 to 15 points. Official play -5, 1 unit.
Got you. Well, let's go to the streets of Chicago here, my guys. We got the Bulls going up against the Nuggets. My guy has the hat on. The Bulls line open up at 4, it's down to 3.5. They come back to the house of a little road trip here. We got the Nuggets on it. They're starting to play a lot better. They went and smacked up the Knicks over there. So it'd be interesting to see what happens in this one. We know that everybody's going to be on the Bulls here. I can tell you that right now. Everyone be on the Bulls here, Shark. You like anything in this one?
Absolutely. Official play number 2. The buy hat is engaged. People in the chat are saying it. I will say it. It's suddenly not so casual. My favorite Monday is engaged. We look at what's going on here. We get an immediate revenge game. Chicago did beat them on the road 114-108, which we had correctly there. Line functionality has mattered between these two teams going back to last year. Denver was heavy last year. It moved in and out of windows. Every single time the line has moved or stuck, it has mattered. This is sticking. Chicago -2.5 on the road opens up at -4.5. It should be 5.5, 6. You look at what Chicago's doing. They're coming in here off 2 very impressive wins on the road in New York City. They come home game 1 off-road wins. They're 1-3 ATS, and their only cover was a hook cover against the Knicks. Outright loss against the Knicks, outright loss against the 76ers, and most recently an outright loss against Miami. Denver comes in here having lost 7 of 9 and a revenge game. And you go back to last year, Denver did win and cover 118-112 in Chicago before losing at home. Denver plays better on the road against this team. Chicago is not as good at home in recent history. They're actually a better ATS team on the road. I think Denver comes in here and potentially wins the game outright. I am locked in at +4, 1 unit official.
Like it, my guy. Like it. Yeah, and then the Bulls as well. They come back to the house off a little 2-game road trip. Then they go right back on the road as well for 2 games. So it's a little funky spot for the Bulls. Definitely couldn't talk you. I like the Nuggets with you as well, my guy. I may ride with you on that one. Let's get to the next game here. Let's go to the streets of Milwaukee here. We got the Bucks versus the Cavs. Cavs cover 7 straight games. I'm not betting against them right now. I don't give a damn. I don't care where they're playing. They could be playing in Australia. The Cavs are on the bye right now. It's either you look towards taking the points or you stay off the game, simply put. They won't continue to cover every single game, but I'm just telling you, you take the Cavs or you don't play the game. Trust me, guys. But what you think about this one, Shark? They're getting 6.5 today. We riding with them again?
This is a tough one. I mean, they do cover basically every single game. So I don't know if it is a tough one, really. Can it be that easy? Maybe it is.
It seems like, and they dogs every game too, seem like.
They are purely unadjusted by books. I mean, it's getting to a point where the Cavs should be only getting 3.5 points from Milwaukee. Last night at home against the Jazz, it should be Jazz -1.5. I mean, you saw the way that game played out. This is just actually a really sharp line take for the Cavs again. Last year, Milwaukee hammered them 3 times. Milwaukee's been an absolute juggernaut in division versus these teams, Pacers, Pistons, and Cavs going back 3 or 4 years. At some point, it should reverse itself. I can't take this. Ultimately, I do think they're a little too hot. I faded them correctly in one of their only non-covers, which was a back-to-back scenario against the Dubs at home, going back to a nice little Steph Curry, 36-8 specialty fourth quarter backdoor for us. But I think this is a sharp line. I think Milwaukee could get there. I think that they're due to not cover again. One of the worst things that I fear as a bettor is being late to the party. When something's too hot and then you jump on too late and they stop covering, you just feel like a total jackass, to be perfectly honest. So I'm not on it, but the line is obviously all over Cleveland. Open it up at +8. I think it's getting steamed down. I think, again, it's sharps and public alike, just all riding the Cavs right now. So I couldn't talk you off the Cavs, but I do think Milwaukee could sneak up on us here and win by 8, 9, 10, or 11.
Exactly. Yeah, we know that the Bucks, especially at the house as well, anything can happen. I think that Giannis obviously is starting to be a little bit more widespread as well, that Giannis won't play even another one. So I was a bit surprised to see that it was up to 8 yesterday without him. I'm not sure what's going on. I think he's still kind of questionable, doubtful. Who fucking knows, man? Who knows what this Bucks team? You never know what these. Grayson Allen literally got scratched. They still smacked him up in the last game. Grayson Allen literally got smacked. Got scratched last second of the game. I'm talking about dead serious. Right before, no Grayson Allen. It didn't matter, but it's just crazy. I don't know what's up. All right, not gonna even start here. Let's go to another team that's been red hot here, Shark. We got the Spurs versus the Suns. Don't look now. I said this like 3 games ago. Spurs are playing their best basketball of the season. Not a bit surprised to see them going there and beat the Warriors outright. And it was obviously, even the coach said it was a trap spot for the whole team. Kind of crazy there, but. What you think about this one, Shark? This line opened up at 8, down to 7.5. It's Spurs or nothing for me. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, I would have to agree. As you said it, they seem to be turning a corner. They're catching some wind here on a Pacific Coast trip. Extremely impressive effort against the Warriors the other night. Obviously, that was a letdown for the Warriors back-to-back off the Suns victory. But now you get the Suns off of that environment coming back. And something I mentioned to you on text going back just, a half an hour, 45 minutes ago, is that I think that people are going to overreact to the Suns' awful loss idea as if it's just an auto bounce back. When you win 18 in a row, you are so clustered on an outlier one direction, you shouldn't just continue to go back to another 36-1 style clip here. This should come the other direction. And you do get a revenge game. The Spurs competed with them. They did backdoor the cover, 115, 111 in San Antonio going back a period of time. That was a -6.5 line, I believe, for Phoenix there. And we always talk about it should be 3. J Money in the house. Nice sneeze on a Monday. We like to see it. And but as we come back to the number, it should be 9.5, 10 for Phoenix adjusted for environments. It's short for a reason. Again, I think Phoenix is just way too hot, way too clustered. And I think the Spurs are showing signs of being able to cover spots like this. Definitely not an official for me. I would lean Spurs as well.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's the only way I'm looking. Let me see. It does like the Spurs because I kind of looked ahead. They do have a game tomorrow. Yeah, they back at the house tomorrow versus the Knicks. And that's when you want to fade them. I think the Spurs going to turn up here tonight. They're going to come back to the house tomorrow, and they're going to get smacked by the Knicks after coming off 3 really representative games, really 5, the last 2 at the house as well. But that road trip is so strong. Third game in 4 nights. No, not third game in 4 nights. Third in 5 nights, but still. The Spurs going to turn up tonight, and then watch. They're going to have a letdown tomorrow. I'm telling you this. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see them win tomorrow. And just one more key point to this game, Shark. When you have a team that wins 18 straight and you've been given so much energy, right? And you finally lose that game, the second game can be a letdown as well. It's okay because it's like, oh, you kind of exhale. We're not going balls to the wall anymore. Spurs, if they look past these guys, they will possibly lose this game outright. I'd be looking towards the Spurs plus the points in this. So that's the only way I'd look, just the way they're playing basketball. One more game up, man. Clippers versus Blazers, and then we'll have 10 more minutes left. Clippers, the Blazers, oh, boy, I know Billups called the team out again. This is third or fourth time he had to do it already this year. He's a new coach. Oh, boy, I said this. They're finna go on a slide. It's Clippers or nothing for me, simple. I know the home team has killed it in this series, but so have the favorites. It's Clippers or nothing for me. The Blazers dropped Simons as well now, so I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough game, Shark. Clippers are nothing for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a Clippers take here as well. I'm not officially on it, but I would not disagree. I mean, you said it. The home team just continues to blow the other team out in this series so far. This is already the 4th matchup of the year, so obviously very clustered scheduling between these two in the first 6 to 7 weeks here. But the key point is the line has always moved in the direction of the outcome. When the Clippers were at home, they were laying 3.5, 2 blowouts. And then when it came to Portland, we had it correctly. Portland did lay 3. It was a big jump. It was 6 gap, not 3. They blew them out. This is the first time the line has not moved the other direction, which I think could tell you a damn good story here. I think the Clippers could come in here and steal this one emphatically. I think that, as you said, the Blazers are just fractured here. Lillard out of the lineup, a lot of different ambiguity. They've gotten absolutely hammered the last couple games. That was an insulting defensive performance against Boston the other night. And
give up 145, bro.
Yeah, and you just look at what's going on there. Again, I don't know if they're just going to get off the mat here on a Monday night and just get super inspired to play a Clippers team who's also coming off a poor performance themselves against Sacramento Kings, 104-99 loss there. So you do get both teams coming off a low, which we say is not great. You don't want both teams moving theoretically in the same direction. But the number is on the Clippers. So if I had to free play, I would lay 3 with the Clippers, but nothing official for me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. A few other games, man. I'll tell you, it's a lot going on with the Timberwolves game. There's 2 huge question marks for the Timberwolves. I don't think we should even really talk about that game with Russell and Karl-Anthony Towns. We never know what's going on. The Magic, the Warriors are laying 16 points versus the Magic at the house, Shark. And then there's another game. We got the Thunder versus the Pistons here. You like anything in those? Couple.
Yeah, I'm definitely waiting to see what's going to go on with the injuries in the Minnesota game. I would like to take Minnesota here. We see what Atlanta's doing. We talked about this going back to the very beginning of the season. Atlanta has a couple really tough travel spots here in the early going, and this is another one of those tough travel spots. They come off of a loss yesterday, a tight loss to Charlotte, and they go on a nice little home road back-to-back out of conference to a real hungry, scrappy, suddenly professional Minnesota team at home. And then they have a couple of days off and they have a primetime game against Brooklyn at home on, I believe, Thursday or Friday night. So it's just a tough travel spot. We were talking about this going back to the beginning of the year when they lost like 6 or 7 in a row. And we were saying that the league just did them no favors with this schedule. Like when you're traveling 3rd and 4s in and out of conference, weird competitive environments versus inspired opponents, it's just a tough spot for you. And again, it's like it's not just an auto bounce back here because you just lost 2 games at home. And again, that was a competitive game. Charlotte 130 to 127. They ran them for 48 minutes. And then prior to that, they played Philly in a real, throwback 80s style defensive battle. This is a fatigue spot. It's a tough travel spot. And Minnesota comes home here again in a double revenge game. They got hammered twice by Atlanta last year. They've been cleaning up the East in these spots where the East cleaned them up last year. They remember this stuff. They want to take it to these guys. So I'm just waiting for the injuries, but I'm willing to make Minnesota official at 4 or 5 o'clock if we get some information here.
Yeah, that's a damn good point, Shark. I'm with you on that because the Timberwolves, they offer a couple losses as well. They like to turn up at the house. They offer a couple lackluster. I mean, they lost to the Wizards and then lost by 5, even without Karl Anthony Towns in the last game. So, like I say, if it was even possibly just Karl Anthony Towns and they had Russell and the guys, I hated that Russell popped up on the injury report as well. So both those guys, it's huge for Minnesota. But I agree, this is a Timberwolves type of spot. The Hawks have some guys down as well. Even Solomon Hill is questionable today with a hammy. You know that he may not play there. Same thing with Caruso, guys, for the Bulls. I just want to let you guys know that for the Bulls, Caruso is doubtful today. So it could be huge in the game up against the Nuggets here today. Cam Reddish questionable for the Hawks here. Timberwolves are none for me here. Guys, wait for that Russell and Karl Anthony Towns news. With them off 2 losses, man, if those 2 can go, I know that those 2 guys are codes. If they can go, they'll go and try to get this win. Chart, it's a couple more games. Did you
and just continuing on that briefly, I mean, I look at the game against Miami at home where they really took it to Miami first quarter, first half, laid down a little bit one of those quarters, but then just really pushed it in the fourth quarter. They also hammered a couple other teams. This is just a great bye team. I think it's a great spot. Regarding the other games, that Warriors game at 16, I mean, that is just
what the fuck are we
gamble
doing?
city. I mean, they could win by 30 or they could coast it and win by 12. It's just so hard to predict.
This one of those Steph Curry games, Shark. They go in there and win by 10. It's a win-win for them in the books. What are we doing here?
And it's another one of those where we've said this before. They love the first quarter at home this year. They really do. They have historically as well. I shouldn't say just this year. They've been a great first quarter home team this entire generation. But this would be another one of those spots where theoretically they might come out here jacked up just to smack on the Magic off of a loss here.
Yeah, no, I got you. And I'm not messing with that shit as well. Like when I lay first quarters, I like to get it around a basket or something, man. So that's just me, man. I definitely understand what you're saying. Hell, it could be a trifecta spot by the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Simple. Thunder Pistons, my guy. I was just wondering if you it's up to okay, cool with me. Was any official plays, my guy? I'm not guys. I'd like to come back on here at 6. I'm not sure. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do today, but I know for me, Heat trifecta. That's something I'm on. I might ride with my guy Shark. I know all his looks are sharp, but just Heat Smack City for me. That's the only thing I'm on. I don't need any late info for this one. I'm hopping on this one early. These are my only official plays for today, my guy. So I can't guarantee you the late show. That's why I try to get to all the games on this one, Shark. Break them down with any officials and anything you want to let the people know, motivational wise. Anything. The floor is yours, my guy.
Absolutely. 2 official plays right now. We're going to definitely evaluate Timberwolves throughout the day. That's a great look. Indiana -5, 1 unit. Talked about it in the first or second segment of the show. All boxes checked, in and out of the matchup and zoomed out. Point per game differential within the season. Really important stuff here. There are a very few amount of teams that have a huge movement expected. Washington is the top one to move down, and Indy's the top one to move up. It's very important stuff. And other official play, Denver +4 at Chicago, revenge game. Somebody said last year they beat them twice. What I meant by that is they didn't cover at home last year. It was an overtime non-cover, 131-127. So their ATS efficiency within this matchup, they're 0-2 ATS against Chicago, last 2 at home, and they're 1-0 last 1 on the road dating back to last year. I think they come in here and they catch Chicago again in just a tough spot, coming off 2 road wins and that home game 1 environment off a trip where Chicago has not been good this year. That's all we have for today. We'll maybe be back on here later, as Jay said, but if not, That is all for today, December 6, 2021. Sharky Waters Nation. That was lifestyle. Right away, Jay Money, the legend. Close them out.
Let's cash, my guys. Heat first quarter -1.5. Heat first half -2.5. Heat full game -4.5. Let's cash, my guys. It's a bounce back spot for them. We got a hard nosed type of team coming in here. I know it's a revenge spot for the Grizzlies, but the Heat already beat them without Bam. That was on the road. They're at the house, turn up with their crowd. I don't see the Heat losing this game. I see them motivated. Even the coach says we got a big game versus the Grizzlies up on Monday. I think they know this is, even though it's a Western Conference, no job. They've won 4 straight. They're not taking them lightly. Let's fucking go trifecta spot. I like the halftime, full time for the Heat as well. I hadn't even looked there yet, but if I like first quarter, first half, full game, I like halftime, full time as well. Let's cash, my guys. Couldn't talk you off Nuggets there, Shark. I like the look. They're starting to play a lot better, and no Caruso. I do think at some point will be huge for the Bulls. The Nets, maybe they're not. I mean, the Nuggets aren't the sorry ass Nets. Fat ass James Harden out of here. But anyway, gonna stop all that. I'll be honest. There was another lean. I'm not taking shit teams, but when you have a squad that get blown out by the biggest points in history, I could see the Thunder coming with a spirited effort here. I'm not betting the game, but it's just the way that I look at the NBA. You just got the record book. You got put in the record books on the wrong end of it. I could see a very spirited effort by them, and the Pistons maybe doing a little tankathon shit here. Got a couple players sitting out, Diallo and possibly Corey Joseph as well. Seems pretty fishy here. Thunder, I did just possibly watch that game, try to get on some props for the Thunder there. I think those guys will be motivated here, even though they're a shit team. For one game, you can't get up for this one, man. That's the show today, my guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Like I said, let's bounce back today. My guy Shark plays always as well. Go and follow him on Twitter at Sharks in Sports. He will post the plays. He hops on Timberwolves. Go follow me as well at J Money is Money. We out, my guys.